Hey babes, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are doing this Valentine's makeup look. I'm actually obsessed. It's a little soft glam moment, very pink, very girly with a little bit of sparkle on the eye. It's going to be perfect for Valentine's, date nights, even if you just want to feel a little bit glam on Valentine's Day. So definitely make sure to save this video. You can either save it by pressing the little save button or you can like it. But either way, please do make sure you're subscribed because I do upload every single Wednesday. So I would love to have you here more often. This has taken me a little while, but I promise you it's going to last you all night. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so first off, you want to start off with your glowy skincare base, whatever that might be for you. I would definitely recommend a glowy skincare base for this makeup look. Then next up for the skin, you're going to go in with a primer. I'm using this one from the We Cherie range. This is from the Beauty Crop and it is gorgeous because it's a sticky glowy primer, but it has like a slight kind of tint to it, so it's like a highlighter and primer in one, and it's basically just going to grip your makeup down all day and night depending on what you're doing. And I just really want to like lock in that glow, that hydration, and just give my skin the best base possible. Now as you can see, my neck and my skin are very different colors because I fake tan. I have just instant tanned my body, so this is actually instant tan, but I'm now going to match my face to my body with the H&B Cosmetics matte foundation. I've said it before and I'll say it again, but this is my ride or die foundation. I absolutely love it. I use the shade MF7C and I'm going to go in with the Claymana sponge. This was actually a limited edition boob sponge. It's so cute. I was actually in the campaign for this as well. That was back in October and it was to raise awareness for breast cancer. Honestly, these sponges are just the best. It's going to give you like the most natural finish without being too cakey. It just feels like a cloud on your face, honestly. But if I do want more coverage, I can just apply a little bit more, you know. So I'm just going to apply another little layer just so I've got a little bit more coverage. As you can see, my skin is like breaking out at the minute, so I really want to make sure everything is nice and covered for me personally. Not gonna lie, I literally started my period today. I have irregular periods, so it's not the one, but when I'm filming this, it is before Valentine's Day so that you can get your inspo and you can save this video. So hopefully by Valentine's Day, it's gonna be good. I'm gonna be over it and I'm actually gonna be in my glowing best era. Literally, look how well that is applied with that sponge. It is flawless. It is amazing. I just love this foundation, and by using a matte foundation over a glowy base, it's going to make sure that it lasts all night. So it's going to like set down, but because you've got that glowy base, you're still going to be, well, glowy. Then I'm going to go in with concealer. This one is from Fine Cosmetics and I really like this because it's nice and full coverage, but it does actually dry down a little bit matte as well. So again, it's just going to give you that longevity. It's going to make sure it lasts all night. I'm using the shade 05 from their concealer range. They do actually have new packaging now, so you can get ones that are more, you can get ones that are more like a tube. Then to blend that out, I'm going to use the FLP brush from Lash Filter. Again, said it before, but I'm going to say it again. This brush changes the game. There aren't many tools, I feel like, that can actually change the game of your makeup, but the two I've used so far, the Claymana sponge and this, definitely are game changing. This one is just so good for like getting right in the inner corner of your eye, making a nice kind of sharp line along here, even just for going over the eyelids, on the chin, getting right in that crook and in between the brows. If you do your brows first, then this brush is honestly going to save you. You can get it off TikTok Shop, so if you follow me on there, it will be on my showcase. All my socials are always in the description, so you can go over there and look. And I'm just making sure to blend it into my foundation right on this bit of my temple, just so it gives that like lifted effect. Okay, this pimple is like really pimpling, so I'm just going to go in with my NARS Pot Concealer. This is in the shade Custard. Oh my gosh, if you haven't tried the NARS Pot Concealer and you have like breakouts, acne, whatever, you need this, trust me. It is so good. You literally just pop a little dot on the pimple and it just vanishes. It's so good. It's like a really intense kind of pigment, but it's not slippy or dewy. It's just going to go on top of your breakouts so well. I often use a little eyeshadow brush and then I just pop it on and kind of blend the edges out all around. And that is it. Honestly, it vanishes your breakouts. Would definitely recommend this product. Right, the base is basing. As you can see, I kind of match my neck a little bit more now. But let's add some colour. This is the Jordana Tisha Bronzer Duo, which I'm going in with today. Honestly, I can't stop using this, okay? I literally love it. I do have other bronzers that I love. I do really like the H&B Cosmetics bronzers. I even quite like the fine bronzer. But this is just so handy because it comes with a cream and a powder in the same compact. So it's like the same shade. You know you're not going to be patchy. You know the formulas work together. It's just like easy, you know. I love it. Also, the shade range of this is amazing. Whether you are the fairest of fair or whether you have the deepest of deep skin tones, trust me, there'll be a Jordana t-shirt bronzer duo for you. So I'm just blending that out with a little H&B Cosmetics bronzer brush. Just gently dabbing that onto the skin. With creams, I try not to swipe on top of each other because that way it's going to take a layer of your foundation off and you're going to be left with patches. So try not to do that. I'm hoping the lighting is okay for this video as well because I've changed a load of settings on my camera basically. I'm literally going to watch this video back when I upload it and see if it's okay. I'm really hoping it is. I'm really invested in my quality, like especially on TikTok, but for YouTube I don't really pay that much attention. I just kind of switch the camera on and go. So in 2025 I really wanted to like just pay a little bit more attention to my YouTube quality. I'm aware it hasn't been the best in the past. It kind of goes in and out of focus a lot, and then it comes to editing and I'm like, ooh, but then I have to put the footage in to make sense of the video. So the growth wasn't really growthing in 2024 for me on YouTube. So let me know if you can see a difference in the quality, if it's okay. I've had like a proper play around with the settings. I was like on YouTube, like best vlogging settings. So hopefully it's okay. Fingers crossed. Okay, for blush, I'm using the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Cheek Tint. This is in the shade, I think it's 62. I'm sure they have like actual names, but on the bottom it just says 62. This is very, very similar to the Rare Beauty blush. So it's a gorgeous warm pink. And I feel like that's going to be perfect for Valentine's. Like that soft, warm, gorgeous flush of colour on your cheeks. If you have a deeper skin tone, I would maybe go for something more like purpley. For example, I recently got these blushes from With Love Cosmetics, and this one in the shade Sugar Plum. Oh my gosh. If you have a deeper skin tone, this is going to look gorgeous. And do you see what I mean about it? It's a really nice, gorgeous, warm purpley shade. I feel like that could be really, really nice. Or if you have a paler skin tone, I would maybe just go for something of like a lighter pink. Maybe like the pink of this that I'm wearing. If you want a recommendation, I would have a look at P. Louise because they do some really nice ones. This one I have is called Legally Lavender from P. Louise, which is a really nice one for fair skin tones. I mean, do whatever blush shade you want, to be honest, but I just think like a nice warm kind of moment for Valentine's really suits the vibe, you know? Okay, top tip at this stage, go back in with your previous brushes and make sure you blend the products together. So what I mean by that is that I'm going to take my concealer brush and then just go really lightly in between the concealer and the blush just to make sure they're really nice and blended. You can kind of like tap backwards and forwards to make sure they're nice and meshed together. And then same thing with the bronzer brush. Just gently almost go like 50% on the bronzer, 50% on the blush. So then you've got this seamless transition between the bronzer, the blusher and the concealer, and it's going to make all the difference to the final look, I promise you. Okay, not gonna lie, looking at myself, I might just add a little bit more blush. I'm a blusher fiend, okay? If you don't like that much blush, then stop there, but I am a blush girly through and through. I definitely have blush blindness, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more. What are we doing on Valentine's Day, girls? Are we having a galentine's? Are we doing an actual Valentine's? Let me know what your plans are in the comments. I would love to know. I'm actually hosting a little galentine's evening this month. Oh, I can't believe it, you know. I've never hosted a galentine's. I've kind of always wanted to, but just never really had like a friend to do it with. I actually made a new friend in 2024 and we now live our best girly lives. So do you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna have a Valentine's night. She's gonna come around, I'm gonna cook her some food, and then we're gonna make clay jelly cats. Oh, I feel like it's gonna be so cute. If you want a vlog, let me know and I will absolutely do that. But I have the clay, and weirdly enough, she was like, oh my god, I actually have clay paints. What a coincidence. Like, sorry, that's so handy. So yeah, we're actually going to do some clay jelly cat painting and making, and then me and my boyfriend are going to do a little like cooking date night at home. We did think about going out, but we were like, oh, we've been out so much recently, like we kind of just want to stay in. So I'm having 2 date nights at home this year, and we're going to do like a course each. So one of us is going to do the starter, one of us is going to do the main, and then we're both going to do the dessert together. Okay, just going back in with that brush one last time to make sure I've got rid of all of the creases under my eyes. Then going in with a little powder puff, I'm just going to set my under eye very gently. I'm sure you can guess the powder I'm using. Like, I'm actually sure of it. What other powder would it be? Honestly, just take a guess. Of course, it is the Huda Beauty powder. What other powder would we we be using really? This Huda Beauty powder is a game changer. I know it's expensive, but I promise you it's so worth the money. Even if you just get this for like nice occasions, and then maybe you get a cheaper powder for like every day at work or something like that, I promise you, you won't regret it. This is in the shade, is it Blossom Cake? Oh no, Cherry Blossom Cake. So it's actually got a pinky undertone, and I think that is perfect for this Valentine's makeup look because it's going to blend into that pink blush and it's going to be gorgeous and warm and pink. If you have a deeper skin tone but you still want that same effect, I would go in with the Huda Beauty powder in Ube Birthday Cake. So that's going to give you that warmth and that blended under eye. The only thing I will say is that I definitely prefer the old packaging of the Huda Beauty powder. You have to put the lid on and like shake it upside down every 2 seconds. It's a little annoying, I have to say, but I still love it. It's still so good. I'm just going to set my eyes because I really struggle with creased eyelids. That's kind of a personal thing, but do whatever you please. Then I'm going to go in with the same Huda Beauty powder, but it's going to be in the shade Pound Cake. So I don't want to apply my pink powder all over my face because I've got fake tan on and that's very much a yellow base. So if I go in with the pink powder, it's going to make me look like very pink and weird. So my body's going to be like olivey, yellowy undertones, and then my face is going to be pink and it's going to look so whack. So definitely don't do that. But I would go in with a powder that's similar to your skin tone. So this one Pound Cake from Huda Beauty is more of like a warm undertone. It's more like yellowy, you know what I mean? I mean, if you didn't want to do like a warm pink under eye, you could just use this one under your eyes as well. But it's Valentine's Day, why not? So now we're looking a little bit more matte, but don't panic. The end of this makeup look is going to look very glowy and gorgeous. But before we make ourselves glowy again, just go back in with your bronzer. I'm going to use, again, the Jordana T-Shirt Bronzer Duo. I'm just going to use the powder side of that. But definitely don't skip this step. Make sure you do both a cream and a powder, bronzer and blusher. The pigment is going to be locked in. It is going to last all night and you can be sure everything is really well blended. So after doing both of these steps, you can be sure there's going to be no patches, there's going to be no harsh line streaks. You're going to be nice and blended. I feel like I look quite orange in the camera. I'm hoping when I edit this it doesn't look like that, but in person I don't look that orange, I promise. Now, as I said, you definitely want to go in with a powder blush, just a little dusting over the top to really set in place that blush. I promise you, you're not gonna look crazy. I'm gonna go in with this one from the Beauty Crop. It is called Poppin' Peony, and this is going to double up as my highlighter and blush. So it's like a blush topper. It's a glowy blush, and I already have a lot of blush on, okay, so I'm just going to gently go over the top just to add that glow back in. And as we said, set the blush, make sure it's really going to stay in place all night. Okay, skin is skinning, but we do want to add that glow back in. So then I'm going to go in with my two setting sprays. I'm going to go in with the Dewy Bounce setting spray and the L'Oreal Infallible. The Dewy Bounce mist is going to add that glow back in. It also has setting properties in, so this is going to give you a glow and help to seal the makeup, but this is the real seal the deal bad boy. This is like hairspray for your face, okay? Yes, it smells like hairspray, but does it do the job? Yes, it'll keep your makeup in place all night. It is like my little secret, my bottle of joy. I will say, definitely hold your breath and close your eyes when you do this one. And it's really good because if you're matte, it will keep your makeup matte, but if you're glowy, it will keep your makeup dewy. So it's not going to change the finish of your makeup. It will literally just go to your face. I do definitely feel like that one is a love or hate, but for the hardcore makeup girlies, I feel like you'll love it. So now, as you can see, my face is very dewy, very blushy and glowy, but because of the products we use the matte foundation, the matte concealer, we've set our bronzer and blusher in place, we've added that sealing mist on top. It's not going anywhere, you know what I mean? So now I'm going to do my brows. If you've already done yours, then obviously skip this step, but I'm going to use the Fine Cosmetics brow, whatever it's called, like pen. I'm sorry, I really can't talk whilst doing my eyebrows, so I'm probably just going to cut this bit out. But I really like how it has a fine tip. It's like the finest tip I've ever used. And then the other side has 3 little nibs. Right, eyebrows are done. Let's do the eyes. Not gonna lie, I did just have a meeting, so we've had a little pause here, but as you can see, the makeup is still looking good. It's still very much in place, but I just had a really exciting meeting with a brand who I love. Got some very exciting things going on. But anyway, back to the Valentine's makeup look. I'm going to be using this Fine palette, and this is in the medium shade. Got some really nice nudes in here, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to be using this row here. So although they're still nudes, they're very like pinky nudes, very gorgeous, going to blend in really well together. And I'm just going to start off with this lighter shade. I actually learned this during a makeup lesson that I had last year, like how to read eyeshadow palette. So often when you get an eyeshadow palette, they'll actually be in color stories, they call them. So this one you can see goes downwards. Some eyeshadow palettes might be across, but generally a good eyeshadow palette should always be in color stories. So that's our crease shade done, and then I'm just going to take the one below it. This is just a slightly darker shade, and these shades are all like in that pinky kind of family, so it's going to blend in really nicely with our blush. Just taking that fluffy brush backwards and forwards in the crease, and I'm holding it right at the end of the brush so the pressure is nice and light. Then I'm going to leave that brush there and move on to a different brush. This one is still nice and fluffy but slightly smaller, and I'm working down the shades, so I'm now on this one, and instead of running this all over the lid, I'm just going to work it on the outer corner and then bring it in ever so slightly. The key here is to not bring it as high up as you did the last one, just working that into the actual crease but not too high near the brow. Same again on this side. And for the last one, I'm going to take this really tiny, teeny, fluffy brush. I'm going to dip in this shade here and then really lightly just wiggle it on the outer corner. So I'm not even going to bring it over here. I'm just literally wiggling it on the outer corner, and it should blend nicely into the other shades, giving you just a little bit of a darker outer corner. And this is where I find having the right eyeshadow brushes is so important. This bit's kind of optional, but you can just take a little bit of a darker shade and then be even more precise and just run it below that shade, like really close to the lash line, almost like a really tiny smoked out liner, but even more subtle because you're doing it with a fluffy brush, like literally the tiniest bit just below the shade we just did. Perfect. Okay, now for the magic, I'm going to go in with this With Love Cosmetics loose pigment. They very kindly sent this to me, and the colour of this, you're not even ready. Look at this amazing pigment. It's like this beautiful goldy champagne-y colour. I'm literally like get that all over my lid right now. So because we've done our base, I don't want this to go all over my face. Top trick, you're going to look crazy, alright? You're going to look crazy, but what I want you to do is literally lean forwards, and as you lean forwards, dab it on your eye, and the glitter will fall forwards instead of down your face because of gravity. So I'm going to do that, but you're not going to be able to see me doing it because my head is going to be down here. Defying gravity. Ah! I love it! Wow, look how pretty it is. I love it. Gonna add a tiny bit more, do the same. I'll be right back. Perfect! And because we've not added like a glue or anything, it's not super intense. It's not like bam, 2016. I'm really hoping the camera is picking this up, but it's just this gorgeous like shimmer little glittery moment without being too much, you know. But of course now I need to add some lashes. If you want to just add mascara, then go ahead and do so. I would always recommend using a waterproof mascara, but today I'm going to try these lashes. Again, these are from With Love Cosmetics. They are faux mink lashes and they're in the style Half-Hearted. On the box here it says up to 25 wears. That's very good. Ah, perfect. Okay, so I cut them in half because I do currently have a lash lift, so these inner ones are really like curly. I thought they're just not going to sit right. I've cut them in half, and how nice do they look? Oh my god, I'm obsessed. For the under eye, I'm literally just going to run a little bit of that shadow underneath. I really feel like the under eye of a makeup look is very personal depending on if you have like big eyes, small eyes, if you want them to look bigger or smaller. I don't put bottom mascara on, but if you want to, go ahead and do that. And final part, we are now on lips. Now because it's Valentine's Day, I've been thinking how can we get a really long lasting lip hit, and instantly I thought of Wonder Skin. So Wonder Skin is basically a lip stain. I mean, look at the colour of my lips now and then just wait until after. So it is this colour when you first put it on, and then all you need is a little makeup wipe to wipe it off. You just wait about 30 seconds for it to dry, and it might crack and feel a bit weird, but this is literally going to last you all night. And when I do wear this, it lasts me until I next cleanse my face, so it's definitely going to last all night. And I feel like if you're doing a little bit of kissing, if you've got a romantic night, then this is exactly what you need. I'm using the shade Whimsical at the minute, but the shade Lovely is also really nice. That's another nude type shade, but they also do reds. They do loads of different colours, so I would definitely check this out. Okay, let's wipe her off. Oh, she looks so good. Oh, look. So pretty. Now I am just going to go along the outer edge with this JTC lip liner. This is in the shade Real Rosebud, so it's still got that pinky colour. In fact, do you know what? It's pretty much the same. Okay, I fear I should have sharpened that before I did it. It's a little bit blunt and it doesn't look very sharp. But you know what? I'm just going to wipe it off and do it again because the lip stain is on, so it doesn't even matter. See? And as you can see, my lips are still stained. Okay, that's better. That's a little bit more neat. And lastly, let's finish off with a gloss. Ooh, this is Fenty's Gloss Balm. An absolute cult classic. And of course this might come off when you're eating or whatever, but because we've got that lip stain on, you can just top up the gloss and you're good to go. So this is the final makeup look. What do we think? I hope you like it. I really enjoyed doing this today. A little bit of makeup therapy is exactly what I needed, and I'll be doing something very similar to this on Valentine's Day. I hope this was helpful. Definitely make sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and save the video if you haven't already. That way you can come back to it when it's Valentine's Day. Also, I would love to know your plans, so do let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I upload every single Wednesday. I'm a little bit more casual and chatty on here, so do subscribe and I will see you same time, same place next week. Bye babes!